I would like to introduce Amy Cliett. Can you hear me now? Perfect.
Yes.
I apologize. So you missed the whole introduction. Amy Cliett is in Pennsylvania, just like us, and she has dedicated her time and energy into an organization called TechGirlz, which has really awesome stuff for girls and other people too. So without further ado, I am going to introduce Amy. So Amy, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Welcome to Computer Science Education Week. This is very exciting. I am very happy to be here and to be able to present to you all. And I love all of the shining faces and the waving and the high fives I got. So I know I'm in front of a great group and I'm really excited to share with you. Give me just 1 second while I share my screen and my slides. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about TechGirlz and what we do and what I do and kind of how we got started. Just as a kind of quick overview, we are Pennsylvania-based. We started in Pennsylvania 7 years ago, and we have been expanding pretty well over the past few years. But Pennsylvania is our home. This is where we really like to make sure that we put a lot of our focus because, you know, obviously we want to take care of home. So we are a nonprofit that is dedicated to inspiring middle school girls to explore the possibilities of technology. Now, I know looking at you, some of you aren't in middle school yet, and that's okay. And I'm going to, explain to you why we chose middle school and give you something to look forward to when you get to middle school, but also understand that there are some things that you can do now and that you can certainly join our program and enjoy some of the workshops that we have to offer. So I'm going to play a quick video of we say why TechGirlz, and I think the easiest way to explain why is to have one of our girls explain it. So I'm going to go ahead and play this video now. Can you hear it? Can you see it?
Greetings. My name is Bashira Bent Abu Yahya, and I am a freshman at Academy at Palumbo, here to speak on behalf of the TechGirlz program. TechGirlz is an all-girls nonprofit organization whose mission is to inspire their target audience, middle school girls, to explore the fields of technology and its possible impacts on their future careers. Their workshops are 100% free, and they cover all kinds of technology while showing them varied career options and receiving education from professionals in different tech fields. Our vision is to create a world where girls have a lifelong passion and confidence in the use of technology throughout their careers. Now, before this program, I was as curious as a fawn. Many things sparked my interest, and many things I wanted to know more about. I was hungry for knowledge, but what knowledge? Knowledge of anything? What do you want to be when you get older, Bashir? My first TechGirlz class was in September 2013. I didn't know what to expect. My mother had told me that she signed me up for a technology class on yada yada yada. Never heard of it before, didn't care much, but it ought to be something if she signed me up for it. And at 9 years old, what was I doing with my life that I had a reason not to go? So I did. And it was surely the best decision ever made for me. In retrospect, I'd have to say the most interesting TechGirlz class that I've been to that I'll never forget was, imagine this, 2014, Baldwin School. Conducting energy from pink Play-Doh to light up an LED light on a breadboard. Yeah, a 4-year-old was shrieking in pure excitement. But my ambition for tech didn't stop there. Early 2015, my mother tells me Temple was hosting a STEM camp. I said, STEM camp? Mom, planning is your thing. No, STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math, she said. Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math? Such a thing for nerds like me exists? In school, math and science was a breeze, and engineering could be something, so I hopped right on that bandwagon. And soon enough, I really got the hang of it. I loved it. Engines do this because of this, ions work in atoms like this, a building couldn't be too tall because of this, you could program a robot to do this like this, it just clicked. And through 3 years of 3 different STEM camps and 4 years of numerous TechGirlz classes, it came to me, science is me, technology is me, engineering is me, math is me. This is what I'm good at. At 6, I learned how to type in and go to various websites by myself. At 9, I was using breadboards. At 11, I was coding with Python and JavaScript. At 13, I was programming robots with engines to glide underwater. All this knowledge coming from the various STEM camps and TechGirlz classes I've attended, finally it came to me that this is what I'm good at. And what you all, do to enhance STEM in this region is extremely crucial. Every single penny put towards a girl like me's education or empowering my knowledge for fields like this is crucial. You never know. You could be funding the next female Steve Jobs. Thank you for listening and keep up the good work.
So that is one of our lovely previous TechGirlz. She now is too old to be in the program, but she gives back by volunteering now. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to get out of the full screen here. And see, even though I know technology, sometimes it messes me up. Okay. All right. So just kind of a brief overview of what we're going to go over today. I just want to talk about TechGirlz, why our impact and goals, what our program actually is, and then what you can do to get involved. So keeping in mind too, I'm talking to some of the adults in the room. So, you know, some of it might apply to you and some might apply to the wonderful students in the room as well. So just as a quick overview, as I mentioned, we started back in 2012. We had 165 girls our first year. So only 165 girls, which was amazing then, and it's still amazing now. 165 girls is awesome, but we had 5,000 girls last year. So there is clearly a lot of interest in technology, and we see that and we know that, and that's why we continue to do what we do. We had 250 workshops last year, and we'll talk about the workshops in a little bit. We are all over the country, but as I mentioned, really Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, that's where it's at in this the Pennsylvania region. We have one of the biggest or the best numbers for me that I like to see is that 80% of girls, that means out of every 10 girls that you see around you, 8 out of them say that they have changed their minds about a possible career in technology after taking just one TechGirlz workshop. So after just one workshop, they say, technology might be for me, whereas before they might not have thought that. And I can see a lot of your faces and a lot of your hands, and I'm just curious, how many of you think technology is cool? Yes, awesome. Technology is cool. It is fun, and there are a lot of things that we can do with it. Thank you for the whole room view. I love that. We have so many topics, 55 right now. The slide's outdated, and every single time I make a new slide, it's outdated again. We have 55 topics, and they are all over the board. Game development. Who wants to make games? Yeah. Artificial intelligence. You know how you have the Hey Siri and Hey Google and Hey Alexa? My Siri just lit up when I said that. And my Google just started talking. Hey Google, be quiet. Sorry about that. But you know, they're always listening, and it's really cool to find out how that works and be able to make your own apps, make your own games, make your own photography, things like that. Cybersecurity. There's lots of different topics and lots of different ways that you can get involved in technology. So it's not just coding. And I know this week we're going to, you know, focus on the hour of code and coding, but coding is great, and coding is involved in a lot of different types of technology, but you don't have to just code if that's not what you're into. We also have summer camps. So I know in the summertime, my kids want to do things, and we have girls coming out to our camps building a robot, which is really cool, from scratch. They start from just a board and a bunch of wires and components, and they built a robot that moves around, that can see things, objects in front of them and go backwards. It's really, really fun, and I'll show you a quick little video on that in a little bit. So our next milestone is we want to reach 20,000 girls by 2020. So I'm looking at all the ladies in the room, looking at you. Hopefully we'll be able to get some of you in part of that. And boys, don't worry, you can take the workshops too. Our goal is really to focus on girls because there are fewer girls and women in technology than there are men and boys. So we really want to make sure we reach out to the girls so they know what their options are. We're not trying to leave you out at all, but just as to put some numbers to it, less than 25% of technology jobs are held by women. So that's something that we're trying to change. So what is our Tech Shop in a Box? So it is a workshop. It's hands-on. So we love to use our hands, right? Let me see those hands. I just love to see all of you wiggle. They're free. So we want to make sure that everybody has access to it. They're done in about 3 hours, and they can be, for the adults in the room, they can be tweaked to be, half that time. And we can talk about that if you're interested. And there's about 15 to 20 girls per workshop. So we try to keep the classroom size small, similar to what you guys have going on, what I see right now. And we want to make sure that everybody has a chance to speak up, to be engaged, to be able to feel comfortable with each other. It's a really big part of it. So I'm going to show you this video about the summer camp. This is really exciting. I saw a lot of wiggling on the first video. It was a lot of talking, but this one shows you a lot of fun things. So hopefully you like this one a little bit better. This is about our summer camp. As I mentioned, they're made of robot. Really cool.
Hi, my name's Shreya. I'm Brianna. I'm Yushi. I'm Madison. I'm Alexis.
And I am a amazing super tech girl. I'm a confident tech girl. I'm a creative tech girl. I'm a master tech girl. Terrific tech girl. Determined tech girl. That's all it's about community. I really enjoy working with robots and tech, and I really thought that this would help me become an engineer, and our school doesn't really do this, so I just enjoy doing this.
I think this video will help me because it's very easy. Rather than starting in high school or college, it starts in middle school, so that was actually go to college to kind of have a basic understanding of some
Today we learned how to fix like problems previously from the days and then we also learned how to present like for tomorrow, present to our parents what we learned in our robot and challenges we faced in
Okay. So that is, as I said, our Tech Shop in a Box camp where the girls made robots. Who wants to make a robot? All right. So this is what you can do. Tell people, tell your parents, tell your teachers, tell counselors, tell everybody that you want to learn how to make a robot, because the materials are free. The workshop outline is free. And who can do it really is anybody. So tech professionals, the people that you saw there that were helping, they were professionals that wanted to help and volunteer their time. Some high school students, girls that had previously taken our workshops. Some after school groups you can do. So there's lots of things that you can do to get involved and learn about technology. And the one thing that the one girl said I wanted to touch on was she said that she started young. And I think starting young is really the key. So all of you, I'm looking at all of these young faces and you have the world in front of you. And one of the many options that you have is to go into a career of technology. And there are so many options within that. So I really implore you to explore and get involved as much as you can, and tell your parents, tell your teachers that you'd like more technology. And they can certainly get in touch with TechGirlz to find out how they can make that happen. I think I'm out of time. Am I running out of time? I'm out of time. I
do have just a couple of things, and then if somebody has a question.
Perfect.
First of all, as a grown-up, if you are interested in looking at this website, you don't need any experience and all the materials are there for you. It's really nice, and it can be adapted for younger children. And it's TechGirlz, but we like to include the boys as well. So it could be for everyone. And I believe, Amy, if we use it, you just ask that we email you saying, hey, we've done this and this is what we thought, so that you can collect data. Is that correct?
That is correct. What'll happen is if you email us, let us know, how the workshop went. We love feedback. We love feedback from the kids as well as the adults, because we want to know how much you like it, because we're doing this for you. So that's something that we love to have. And then you see the certificate of completion will be automatically sent out once the kids fill out a survey as well, which is a quick 10-question survey.
Yep. And the other point that I wanted just to kind of bring about, because you said that this is all about technology and there is a lot of computer science in your workshops.
Yes.
But it's about doing and making and creating. So
Yes.
We're not just sitting there playing a game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. In the video, you saw the girls spinning around and doing lots of things. They were learning how to take commands as a computer would. So there's a lot of very fun hands-on project-based activities.
Thank you. Is it okay to take a question or two?
Yes, absolutely. I'd love some questions.
If you have a question, you can unmute your mic and feel free to ask.
See a couple of hands up. But...
Go ahead, Logan.
How many people was there in the middle of 2012 when we started? How many people after it started?
That's a really good question. So I'm going to say maybe about 30. That's a guess. Only because the first workshop, it took a while to get to the second one and the third one, and then we picked up a little steam. You're making me do math early in the morning. I like it.
We do have a question if nobody else is next.
Go for it.
Okay, girls, get a little closer.
When did you get interested in technology?
How did I get interested in technology? Is that the question? I love this question. I'll make it short because I know we don't have a lot of time, but I grew up a while ago. I'm a lot older than you, and my dad was into technology, and he spent a lot of time working with my brother to make sure that he was into technology. So I kind of watched from afar, but I was always very envious of what they were doing, and I did not choose that as my first career. So back in 2014, I decided that I was going to finally choose the career that I was always interested in, but I was a little afraid that I was a woman and I wasn't allowed to be in there. So I taught myself how to code, and I learned front-end web development, and it was the best thing I ever did. And then because of my situation, not knowing that I could do this growing up, I found TechGirlz and really wanted to give back. And I wanted to make sure other girls out there like me when I was growing up knew that they had these options and these opportunities out there for them, so they wouldn't miss it like I did. Great question, ladies.
Yeah. Is there anyone else with a question before we wrap up?
Go ahead, Pablos.
What coding language do they use?
Did you hear him?
I did not.
Say it really loud, Pablos. Stand up.
What coding language do you use in TechGirlz?
What coding language do you use in TechGirlz?
At TechGirlz, whoa, we have a lot. So we have JavaScript, HTML, CSS, C++, R, Java. We have a lot.
You use Scratch too, don't you?
Scratch, we do use Scratch, yes. Raspberry Pi, I don't know what they use. We use Ruby on Rails. Way to keep me on my toes.
Okay.
Any more? One more question?
It looks like there are a couple. Miss Rhodes, it looks like she's coming over.
Yeah, just a second.
Okay.
Hello. Hi. What materials do you use for your robots?
Oh, so we wanted to be very cost effective. So we could have bought a kit, but we wanted to be cost effective, and we bought all of the individual pieces. So we got a basic board. We got a breadboard, which is what we use for Arduino, because that was the main base of the robot. We had to get some wheels. We had to get a motor and a motor shield. We had to get lots of a light sensor, a proximity sensor, because the robot would go forward. It would see an object in front of it, and then it would say, uh-oh, don't go there, and go back. So that was pretty much the base. We had wires as well, and batteries. Got to have batteries.
I'm curious, how much does something like that cost?
We were able to get it under $30 per robot.
Nice. Amy, I have just one final question for you.
Sure.
So I know that you are the director of TechGirlz. Were you one of the founders?
I was not the founder. Our founder is Tracy Wilson-Rossman, and she actually has a full-time job. She doesn't actually work for TechGirlz. She has a full-time job working for a tech company in the Philadelphia area. And Tracy started because she saw, as a hiring manager and looking around, that there weren't a lot of women around her. and there weren't a lot of women coming in for the open position. So she wanted to change that. And what we noticed was there were a lot of programs happening in high school. But then as you get further back, there weren't a lot of things that were getting the girls interested and keeping kids interested before they got to high school. And there's a huge drop off of interest by ninth grade. So we really wanted to make sure that we're impacting the girls prior to the getting to ninth grade and realizing that they had other career choices and hadn't considered technology.
That is very interesting. I know what you said before, less than 25% are females in the technology industry. That means for every 4 people that are working, 1 or a little less than 1 is a female. And I also know that there are, I believe, 17,000 open computing jobs in Pennsylvania alone.
Yes.
There's not enough kids graduating from school to fill those positions. So we want you to, if you're interested, we want you to stay interested, which is one of the reasons for TechGirlz. So thank you.
Yes, yes. And if you're not interested, just try it out. You never know.
You never know.
You know, just try it out and see if you might like it. And one other thing, I don't know if you all are too young to think about this, but there's a lot of money in technology jobs. So you can buy a lot of candy.
Thank you so much, Amy. And I know that you don't want us all yelling thank you. You would get a headache. So guys, if we could just give her a thumbs up and wave goodbye, that would be awesome.
Thank you all. What a great way to start my morning. This has been wonderful. Thank you.
Ditto. Thank you, Amy.
Thanks. Have a great